I just don't get it. I really don't. The reality is that's kind of what I feel when I talk about Will Levis is, I don't know, don't get it, doesn't make sense to me. Listen, there's been players that I don't get, and they've worked out before. So I'm not sitting here and saying that Will Levis will not work out or cannot work out. I'm just saying I'm not betting on him working out, because when I watched his tape, I was not very impressed. And let's get into what, why I wasn't impressed, and also some of the things that I think are still fair to bring up that are in his favor. I think the first thing we have to say, which is just true, was he was in a tough situation in Kentucky. He was. And this is just, again, his fans will bring this up as a reason why he's better than people realize. And there's truth to it. Like, there legitimately is. Something like this where you see, it's man coverage. Both of those routes could potentially work. The one in white, that I've circled in white, will be the one that he's eventually going to throw it to. However, look at how at first he, runs the play action, looks over the middle, doesn't love what he sees there, so he's going to look elsewhere. The one I highlighted earlier, also not looking great, but there's a chance that it could work. Levis makes this throw, but really it was just never going to work out. There was maybe a small window for it to be complete, but it was not complete. And this just kind of the situation was he was in tough spots consistently. So, I constantly bring up really no quarterback looks good when receivers aren't getting open consistently. And there were plenty of games where receivers weren't getting open consistently. So I'm not holding it against him too much that he didn't look good then. But let's talk about his arm strength for a second. This is something I keep hearing a lot about, which was, look at his arm strength. And while in practice, I have seen him be able to make some impressive throws. He is someone who can look good. Looks good in shorts, right? To make a Josh Allen reference. There are things that he can do well. But the reality is, on the game tape, the deep stuff, I didn't really think was that good. Again, you can find some highlights, but as a whole, it was actually pretty disappointing. Something like this, again, single safety deep, receiver running a go route down the field. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. Levis takes the snap, and you're going to see that he, looks down the field. At this point, it's not open, but again, it's a fine 50-50 ball. Let's see what happens. However, this throw was just, quite frankly, it was an uncatchable ball. I don't know if he thought the receiver was going to cut out that way. Maybe there was a miscommunication, but the reality is, even if there was on this play, I saw this consistently enough to say that it was an issue with Levis. The accuracy was an issue, and, while people like to talk about the deep ball and how exciting that is and arm strength, what really matters more on these types of plays is not arm strength, it's accuracy. That's why Gardner Minshew is actually pretty good at those types of throws, because he's accurate in that situation. Like, this one's another good example of the accuracy being an issue. He's going to fake a screen pass and then throw it deep. That's the concept on this play. Watch how when he takes the snap, again, fakes not really a screen pass, I guess a toss, whatever you want to call it. Fake there, looks down the field, it's open. Because again, yes, there were plenty of tough situations he was in. There were also some situations that it wasn't as tough. There were plays that things worked out okay. This is one of them. But his throw here is just, it's off. It's a missed throw. And this happened consistently. He has an accuracy issue. He just does. The accuracy is not there. And it's very similar to what we talk about with Anthony Richardson. Kind of why those two guys have been put in the same tier is the fact that, there's athletic upside, but the accuracy isn't there. But for me, Levis doesn't have the running ability that Richardson does, which kind of, I think, hurts him as a prospect. The reality is he's a guy who took a lot of sacks in college. He did. Sometimes he even tried to use his athleticism to get himself out of trouble, which really got him into trouble, and that was at the college level, so it would really hurt him in the NFL level, and that's another concern I have about him. But also going over here, again, the thing I keep hearing about is arm strength, arm strength, arm strength. I just didn't see it on tape. I just didn't. Something like this is a good example where, again, on paper, you can see how it can work. If the receiver gets to the sideline, a safety could come down and make the play, but there might be a window to make this throw. Right off the bat, the receiver's doing a pretty good job of winning the one-on-one matchup, or at least looking to be in a good position in this one-on-one matchup. For Levis, if he can kind of get it towards the corner and get it there in a hurry, there's a chance that this could to work out. However, look how much air he puts under it, and also look at how low it is too. He did not get a ton, he didn't put it high enough, and he puts a lot of air under these throws. I don't think he has to. I think there might actually be some mechanical issues, which maybe is an okay thing. You can fix mechanic issues, but as a whole, this was another thing I saw was when he tried to fit the ball through tight windows, it typically didn't work out. So there's a couple of important, I think, asterisks to put on pretty much everything I just said. He was significantly better in 2021. I still thought that was overrated, to be honest, but he was significantly better in 2021 than in 2022, where I just think he wasn't good, period, in 2022. And there's excuses you can make for that. For one thing, he had turf toe midway through the 2022 season, so I'm not sure how much you hold the rough games after that, on him. But, still, I think it's fair to talk about the positives, and that is true, and there might be an excuse to be made for being in a rough situation and then playing through an injury. Maybe that's all that was the issue, and there's possibility for that, which is why I don't entirely hate him as a prospect. There's things I like about him. Like I said, was a tough situation. How much blame do you put on him? He throws a good check down, which kind of sounds like a joke, but no, there is value in that. Being a guy who can throw a good check down, you like that. When he's in an easy situation, he does perform well. I mean, there still is value in that, I think. And, he can throw while getting hit, although I don't love when he's throwing off balance. But, he can throw and take a hit. That's certainly something that I like. And, again, can throw a long way. I think he puts too much air under it. But maybe there's a mechanical issue because, again, I'm not a throwing motion guru or anything, but I don't love his throwing motion. So maybe there's some issues there. But as a whole, I'm disappointed in him as a prospect. I am. I'm not as excited about him as I am in other players. But, again, quarterbacks, notoriously very difficult to evaluate. I've missed on plenty of quarterbacks because, everyone has. But as of right now, I just don't get it. I just don't. And maybe some people will put stuff in the comments that I will understand more and, put some more context in and make another video. Hey, this can be a conversation, not just me talking to you. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be sure to read them. If I want, maybe make a second video at some point. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.